From Nutrien Ag Solutions, this is Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, March 14th, 2022. That's what today is. We'll start out with those temperatures across Canada. And again, we got the jet stream, very fast flow cutting across just like this. Warmth trying to spread back in from the south into the west. Colder temperatures as you head into the northern half of the Prairie provinces here. So we look at the jet stream flow. Well, we're looking at the satellite picture here, but I'm going to draw the jet stream flow on there. We've got an area of low pressure right here in the Gulf of Alaska. So we've got very strong flow coming in off the Pacific Ocean here. A lot of moisture being deposited across the Pacific Northwest, across portions of British Columbia. And then we've got the jet stream again, very fast flow that kind of comes in around like that through the northern portions of the Prairie provinces. So we've got little systems here that are really depositing a lot of their moisture off to our west. We're seeing some of that trickle over the mountains here, though, and then make its way through the prairie. So a mix of clouds and sunshine here today as we look at the, as we look at the radar on Monday morning. Again, you can see some of the snow here north of Highway 16. You look off to the south and to the west. Here is where the majority of the moisture being drawn in from the Pacific Ocean is being deposited. And you got the Rockies doing something like this. We'll draw that in black. And a lot of that precipitation, a lot of the moisture being deposited west of the Rockies with only light moisture, light snow, making its way over the Rockies into the Canadian Prairie. So over the last 7 days, you can really see the pattern. Where is much of the moisture being deposited? Right here where the very strong jet stream flow comes in and butts up against the Rocky Mountains. Systems make their way over that ridge across the western United States. And we get very light precipitation then deposited as these systems come down, kind of in the form of clipper systems out of the northwest into the southeast. So looking into the future then over the next 4 days, here's the NAM model. We'll watch this one as it takes us through about Thursday. Here's your day on Monday. Again, light snow near and north of Highway 16. That'll continue to move on off to the east as we get into the early overnight. As we head into Tuesday, a cloudy Tuesday for a lot of folks, maybe some very light precipitation, again, very close to Highway 16. A mix of some light snow here, maybe a few raindrops, and maybe a little bit of sleet falling out there as well as you get into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening. And then as we kind of look at total precipitation between now and this is through early Wednesday morning, the overnight there Tuesday, again, much of the precipitation light in nature, very near Highway 16. We'll take it a little further out, including the next 7 days, so all the way through Sunday, March 20th, we're looking at total precipitation by type, or by precipitation type, there you go. And again, Highway 16, that's kind of your dividing line. Near and north of that, you've got a little bit more in the way of some snow here, 5 to 15 centimeters, maybe locally higher amounts. Maybe some light rain across far southern portions of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. We're talking about very light rainfall amounts here over the next 7 days. We'll look at a wider picture here across all of North America, total precipitation through the next 7 days. And again, here's the jet stream flow. Very strong flow coming in off of the Pacific. A lot of the moisture being wrung out by the Rockies here across British Columbia down into the Pacific Northwest. The jet stream then kind of comes over the top of that. And then we get strong flow continuing across the eastern and southeastern United States. The reason for that, well, we've got background state something like this over the next 5 days. This is we're looking at 500 millibar jet stream heights across North America. Again, big trough in the Gulf of Alaska. You get very strong jet stream flow coming around the base of that trough. That's what I've been drawing on each of the maps here, depositing a lot of that Pacific moisture right here. You see the subtle ridge there. The jet stream flow comes over the top of that ridge, and then we get fast flow coming around it down into the Great Lakes. A little bit of a trough developing here across the southern U.S. That gets more amplified as we head into the weekend and then early next week. So this is days 5 through 10. The previous map was days 1 through 5. Same story here across the Pacific. Look how tightly packed these lines are here between that trough in the Gulf of Alaska and then the ridge across the Pacific. So continuing with the same theme, depositing a lot of moisture right here. We get systems then, they come around the base of this trough here in the southern U.S., which gets a little bit more well-defined as we get into, again, the weekend, early next week. That sets up an active corridor right here across portions of the Midwest into the southern United States. So here's your storm track. We've got 2 active areas as we head through the next 5 to 10 days, and unfortunately they don't include us here in the Canadian Prairie. We'll take the drawings off of here and we'll animate this over the next 10 days. Here's your forecast through the day Monday. Again, light snow near and north of Highway 16. That's what we're watching here as we head through today into tonight. As we head through your day on Tuesday, pretty quiet across the region. Maybe some very light, mixed precipitation. Again, most likely near Highway 16. That continues through Wednesday morning. That disturbance gets off into Ontario by the time we get to Thursday morning, and then we're looking at a quiet end to the week. This is your Thursday night, getting into Friday. As I'm going through here, we'll do this once more, a little quicker at the end of this, but here's your trough. It just, parking it right here, your area of low pressure with disturbances kind of pinwheeling around the base of that. That is where all the activity is as we head through the next 7-10 days. So here's your Saturday. Your Sunday, we're getting into early next week, so now we're starting to lose some of our confidence in the specifics here, but now is when we start to crank up the storm track across portions of the Midwest and the southern United States. And then, sandwiched in between that, we're getting, systems coming over there being rain shadowed and really not getting much in the way of focused heavy precipitation. So this map, we're looking at the European ensemble model. The probability of picking up more than a half an inch of precipitation, liquid precipitation, over the next 10 days. Where you see the red shading, that's where we're talking about 90 to 100%. These are the two corridors that I've been drawing over and over on the precipitation maps here. It's across British Columbia into the Pacific Northwest, and then it's across portions of the Midwest into the southern United States. Why? Again, the jet stream flow coming in very fast like this over the top of the ridge, and then continuing off to the north and to the east across the Midwest and the southern United States. So again, where your trough is, it's on the leading edge of that trough that you're going to be very active with the heavy precipitation. So the problem we've been seeing here has just been the poor placement of our troughing in relation to the Canadian Prairie. So as we look at this map, the probability of picking up a half an inch of precipitation or more over the next 10 days, the big hole located right here across the primary Prairie region, and especially the portions that badly need the moisture, the most, southern Alberta into southwestern and southern Saskatchewan. So once again, here's the jet stream pattern. You flip back and forth. Where's the trough? It's right here, and it's right here. To the right of our trough, that's where we expect the heaviest precipitation, right here and right here. Where's our trough? Right there and right there. So it all makes sense. It's just, if you want heavy precipitation across the Canadian Prairie, take this trough, bring it to your east, park it somewhere like this, get the Canadian Prairie right into that favorable zone. So it's just a matter of placement here. If you want a bright side of that, we're going to be along the mild side, so at least it's not bitterly cold dragging on into the late part of the winter. So a lot of regions going to be seeing those high temperatures above freezing as we head through the next 10 days. So Calgary, here you go. Your high is very close to 10 degrees through the next week. Edmonton, a bit cooler. Your high is around 4-5 degrees above zero as you head through the next 7 days. Saskatoon on the cold side today, but you'll be having those highs a few degrees above zero as we head through the rest of the week. Very similar look in Regina, and then in the east, Winnipeg, pretty close to the same story. Your high temperatures getting close to, and then a few degrees above freezing as we head through the majority of the week into the weekend. So mild, compared to average as we head through the rest of the week, but frustratingly dry as we head through the rest of the week as well. Have a wonderful week.